number 13, Neil Musser.
Throughout my childhood, my dad has always had me around basketball. He coached for a while, and then he always had me watching basketball. And then when I finally got to the age where I had the ball in my hand, I just fell in love with it and kept going.
Millard North's career three-point leader and single-season free throw percentage record holder, Neil Mosser, grew into an all-around talent on the court.
He was basically, as a freshman, a spot-up three-point shooter, but he developed his game. He rounded it out. He got better on defense. He got better attacking the basket. And I think great-grandpa would be very pleased with that.
Neil comes from a long lineage of standout basketball players, dating back to his great-grandfather, Hall of Fame coach and namesake, Neil Mosser. To say the game is in his blood would be an understatement.
I wouldn't say there was pressure, but they definitely put the ball in my hand at an early age just to see how I liked it. It had a huge impact in sharing these stories of my great-grandpa and even my grandparents. It's just the long lineage in our family. Just hearing these stories makes it even more special.
In the history of Nebraska high school sports, few coaches, if any, can match the record of developing top-tier athletes over a 20-year span like Neil Mosser did. His style went well beyond just coaching.
He's a mentor. He's a teacher. He's a family man and a competitor.
Neil Mosser was a coach ahead of his time. He coached in an inner-city school, was not afraid to break the color line, defended his athletes to the core, and he is one of the legendary coaches in Nebraska high school sports history. He was a stabilizing factor within the school. I think he was well respected. Again, he would defend his kids.
He was all for his team, and he was not going to let anybody mess with his team, whether it was refs, whether it was other people, whether it was fans, coaches. Those guys were his dudes, and he wasn't going to let anybody get to them.
He was one of those pillars of Tech High that, even though the school closed in the mid-'80s, will be remembered forever in Omaha history.
Omaha Technical High School, founded in 1923, integrated both academic and vocational training to nearly 3,000 students before closing its doors in 1984.
It was the largest high school ever built in Omaha. It stretched about 2 city blocks. It had first OPS swimming pool, and they had one of the best basketball gyms for seating, so a lot of the key games are played in the Tech gym.
Bob Gibson, Bob Boozer, Ron Boone, Fred Hare, Joe Williams were just some of the famous names Neil coached. With all the wins recorded, it didn't come without challenges.
It was the makeup of his team. Being most in an inner city setting, African-American black players, they felt discrimination at times. They would have issues even going out in the state and finding accommodations at night. He'd have to vouch sometimes that they were with him to get hotel rooms.
Starting 5 African Americans on a basketball team wasn't something he thought about from a political standpoint. He was competitive and wanted to win.
The most notorious, infamous situation was the '62 state final, Lincoln Northeast, Omaha Tech. There was a charge block call that went against Tech. It escalated from there. There was pandemonium in the gym afterwards. That played an impact both within the team and within basketball at large for what came the following year and maybe Nebraska's greatest team of all time. Tech only lost 2 games that year, and they came to state, and the title game was 91-73 over a very good Creighton Prep team. So it was a relief, maybe some vindication, not only for that 62 team, but for all these teams.
I'm not sure he was out there beating his chest, being an advocate. He was doing what he thought was right and right for kids and supporting and advocating for student athletes.
He definitely challenged societal norms at that time, So, I mean, just that shows the type of person he was.
I think what he would, if he was sitting here today, his biggest achievement was he loved his wife, very family oriented. He would dote on his 4 sons, and very proud of the fact that they all graduated from college and all became educators.
He'd also be proud of his great-grandson and his accomplishments in high school. From playing in 4 straight title games to winning 2 of them, the younger Neil continues to be thankful for his opportunities and for his connection to Nebraska high school history.
It was great. My first year, I didn't know really what to expect with a loaded team behind a lot of talent. I got to learn from those older guys. Won the state championship, was great, and then we just kept going back, and it just kept becoming more special to me as I started playing more and building different relationships with different teammates. But every single team, we had something special that the last team didn't, so it was fun.
Long 3 by Mosser. From dead on. Big shot by Mosser. Really big shot.